for all of you teachers here, what it's important to teach your students, they have the good desire, they have the aspiration. They're coming to you, they're in front of you asking you about chakras, right? And, they ask in a humble way. Even if they don't, you teach them. The wise will instruct thee. And so, they'll ask, they want to know, rightly so, how to awaken the chakras, how to awaken the Kundalini that's dormant. And you understood now that it is not something you just sit down and boom, Kundalini awakened, it's now slithering up my spine. And I go back to my engrossed in worldliness. It's not how you awaken the chakras of Kundalini. You understood now that it is a gradual movement, a gradual ascension, and a gradual awakening in the personality, that they already have the contact between the yoni and the linga, the masculine and feminine. They've already been inspired by Purusha and Prakriti in their own lives. Karma has been their only teacher before they arrive at yoga or spiritual teacher. So karma brought them to the point of integration of their personality. So from now, the karmas brought you to the point of integration of for the desire. I should be more specific, for the desire to integrate your personality. Then they come to the desire has been purified, right? Shubhecha. So now your spiritual teacher is going to arrive. They'll show up because it's been necessitated by Prakriti, by nature. And now you are going to instruct and guide them into vicharana, how to continue their good aspiration, their sattvic desire, but also now you instruct them and guide them into vicharana, reflection upon who am I, upon Om, insights into Om. What this all is meaning is that integral yoga is the way of awakening your chakras. The answer to the question is, how do I awaken my chakras? How do I awaken Kundalini? The answer is integral yoga. Because if you just try to focus on meditation on Muladhara, and until Muladhara confers all of its knowledge to me and all of its wisdom, I'm not going to start to integrate my personality in the Swadhisthana chakra and the Manipura chakra and increase my spiritual potentiality and purify my intellect. I'm not going to go there until I get her away. No, that's off balance. It's lopsided. So for your students and for your teaching, you want to teach them that Kundalini and chakras are most directly, speedily, quickly, effortlessly, and ensured to awaken by integral yoga, by yam, niyam, asan, pranayam, pratyahar, dharana, dhyana, and samadhi. Beings. This is a teaching for us that amidst all of that asat, there's a few beings, few containers, few spaces, few ashrams, few teachers, few schools that have only carried sat truth. These scriptures talk about how rare it is to, number one, hear about a fully illumined sage, to hear about a one that's living on the planet, even more rare, to come into contact with someone who's been in direct contact with them, even more rare, to be led by someone who is who has realized or is realizing Brahman, who is being directed and guided by that fully illumined master, and then who can lead others to the realization of Brahman, is even more rare. So you keep getting on and on about that, and yeah, you'll find that it is indeed an intimate family, my dear. So all of us here have have said, you know what, in this lifetime, I'm ready for walking this highest path, this razor sharp edge that cuts through world process. It has to be sharp. Your mind and your you have to be alert. You have to have Shakti, the spiritual strength, to slice and cut through and maneuver through all of the asat, all of the garbage. And so when the garbage is like being poured on, it feels like, if you go on the internet and you type chakras, all you see are rainbow color chakras, then it can feel like, oh my gosh, overwhelming ignorance. So this I am all sharing with you because it's perfectly normal to feel this way. It's perfectly normal. It is part of your vairagya. This is helping you develop increasing vairagya. We say, well, I have quite a bit of vairagya, like I've developed already. It's leading me only to viveka, to be able to distinguish between the real and unreal. And then it's only leading me to become more passionate for the real and dispassionate for the unreal. So with that, at this level now, when you start to see in your practical reality, as you mentioned in your question, in the practical realities, you see a lot of, misguidance and teachers with ulterior motives and all these kinds of things. The commodification of yoga, right? The making everything a commodity, about status and about the hype. So, though sattvic teachers, truly ones who are knowledgeable and unselfish, who are emptying, who wish and strive daily to empty themselves, to be more clean and pure, unfiltered vessels for the teachings to flow through. Those teachers, when you catch hold of one who is living, that's your sangha, and this relationship, remember, between you and your guru, your spiritual preceptor, can touch you in places that no other soul and personality can. So automatically, a whole much more nourishing relationship and family has been created with you and your teacher, right? Constantly being in the nourishment and the spiritual fragrance of truth. In the practical level, practical world, you have this now, and you also have those teachings from sattvic teachers, ascended true yoga teachers. Their teachings are here. And lastly, Gurudev reminds us that when you cannot have a practical gathering of satsanga, you have to create the atmosphere of satsanga within yourself. Create the atmosphere of satsanga by yourself. And there's where your mantra, japa mantra, your devas and devatas, your sattvic impressions, the people you surround yourself with, the diet you mentioned, all of this goes to form the feeling of being enfolded in satsanga wherever you go. Om Tat Sat. Still listening with our souls, letting the heart absorb these teachings. This is where we all are actually. All of us are here in the same boat, right? That what did we learn what was the first teaching and what was the last teaching from any teaching you've received from me is that you alone are the truth, right? That the sky is blissful when it's illumined by the light of wisdom or self-realization. So long as there is no light of wisdom or light of knowledge, sky feels dark. Sky doesn't feel like such a fun place. Dark clouds, obstructed vision, etc. You don't know what's around the other cloud, what their kind of ulterior motives are, what they So like the world is dark and hard to figure out, and actually suffering is abounding in the world, and looking for the world to like change, right? And all of a sudden be a place where there's more sat than asat. At least you know what's sensational is most attractive for the mind, right? Like what brings the drama, what brings the hype, brings the cash. Where what you understand is that life is much more simple. Yoga is much more simple than your talking heads are going to have you believe. So think about it to yourself right now, how many distractions are there in just your life? And so each of us has that same laundry list of distractions which we could open the door to. We could open the door to them. But when you have well understood the purpose of life, about from who am I, what is my purpose, and what is my goal, then everything becomes very simple. And you realize that looking inward is going to give you the satisfaction and fulfillment that you're seeking. And it is only natural that we want to see truth being shared widely, goodwill being shared across different races and religions, sects and creeds and whatnot. But when we don't find it as we have pictured, then we're disappointed. And so round and around of that, looking out, not exactly what I expected, disappointed, come back in. Looking out, not exactly what I wanted, looking back in. And you keep getting reminded that looking in is where the truth is actually found. And you can't find it for other people. So we only are able to inspire, right? We inspire and we provide the techniques, important practical necessities for the practice and the techniques and the methods, and then you provide the insights and the profound wisdom. But you cannot realize anything for anyone. So let us remember that you alone are the truth. Remember, na ye such, na wo such, but tum hi such. Neither that is true nor this is true, but you alone are the truth. And you are in the right you're in the right path. You're in the right place at the right time. So keep turning inwards and learning the art and skill of turning inwards, of yoga. And yoga of divine love says it all right there. It's this: you can open the floodgates of divine feeling, of pure feeling, and have that stream of divine feeling flowing through your heart at all times. And where is the asat to be found after that? When there's a constant stream of pure feeling flowing through your heart and through your mind at all times, you cannot see the haters, right? That's what they say. You can't see you haters. So that's how it works. Sudarshan, your penetrate. Remember how the Shiva's first eye opens and it burns away time and space, and then he rubs the ash on himself. Let it go. Let the ignorance go. And Guru Devi teaches us, he's like, when the sky and the sun starts to penetrate through a cloud, that means you're bringing the knowledge, light of knowledge into the cloud of ignorance. It starts to dissolve and eventually completely dissolves. He says, don't go back and look for the cloud. And so, right. And so we want to like look back at our ignorance and look back at all the ways that we, did it wrong, and how would it be possible for me to think like that ignorantly, and how would it be possible for all these people to not know the truth, and how is it that millions of dollars are being sold on the backs of the rainbow chakras, fake chakras fabrications. All of that is like the cloud that has already, for all of you, dissolved. It is already gone, that cloud. And so for us to go back and look for it is backwards movement. And so what we do is just continue to be the sun, to be the light, and keep shining. Satyam evam jayate. Satyam eva jayate means truth alone triumphs. Truth alone is. Let's say this prayer and a mantra for auspiciousness, where we fully awaken the Shakti, the Devi inside of us all. So, mantra for Mangalam, blessings and auspiciousness. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.